Last night, I was talking to iTech about becoming a builder. Then when he asked me to go onto the Sun Empire TeamSpeak and gets off the people who call themselves super admins, and friends put me into game mode. Then they asked me to build them a house, in which I saw nothing wrong with it. So I went ahead and built the house. Then they go ahead and demolish it with TNT and recorded it, and I didn't care at all. Then they go ahead and get Dr. Death to ban me from the TeamSpeak for an hour, and the Minecraft server for an hour, when there was no reason to ban me. And then someone said, "Yay, I was following you and saw you griefing when I was harvesting my own farm because I was moving away further from the spawn area, and then I get banned for an hour with no perm from the owners." And I kept telling them in the begging, because they wanted pictures of all my builds, and said they would give it to the owners, in which I responded with, "No, I will not, because I cannot trust any of you, because I do not know any of you. Therefore, I will give them to the owners." Cheap, 2014.
A little hard to understand what you're saying when your post is on one massive run-on sentence, but I'll try my best anyways. We've gone over everything you've said several times in Teams. I don't know what you couldn't understand and why. For everyone looking at this thread, here's the real backstory. We played a prank on you. That went too far because you kept asking for builder after Tech told you several times there was no open spot for a builder. These super admins weren't actually super admins. They weren't even staff at all, except for Dr. Death, who was an admin but acted immaturely, and we will talk to him about his behavior. We don't endorse Death banning you at all, and had we known, we would have abandoned you and punished Death. You come on the next day and immediately start antagonizing me and Tech. We do our best to deal with the situation, but it got a little hard when I can't remember why the Friends Plus group started hating you. They were about to raid you, but I stopped them. Much as I didn't want to do that, considering they were my friends, started hating me because of it. Death teleports you into Balbuton's house again. Tech and I were aware of Death's inconsistent, inappropriate conduct, and he will be punished for it. And Balbuton randomly shouted at you for stealing, even though you weren't. People kept killing each other, and it got out of hand fast, so I said, "Next person to kill someone else gets kicked. I don't care who and why." Balbuton kills you. Although I heard it was in self-defense, and you attacked him first, so I kick him. Again, didn't want to because he's my friend. But that's what a fair admin does, and I got hatred for it as a result. Things settled down enough when I get to see you punch a hole in the wall and start killing people. I question you about it, and you just laugh. So I kick you. You come back and immediately kill Aquatress. So I ban you. I ban you in order for you to give F Plus their things back. And so, since then all you've done is complain about losing something like a diamond pickaxe and a few iron ingots. When I've told you over and over again, A, you already have a ton of things, that's nothing, and B, that's your punishment, in place of ban for your killing. You kept saying something like, it's not about the items, it's about right and wrong. When really, you have no right to say that after you repeatedly disobeyed an admin's orders. Since that incident, all you've ever done is yell at the admins. Constantly disrespect them. I remember you saying several times, "Quit f***ing following the admins," even though half the time we weren't, which is ground for a ban enough. But Tech and I are nice like that. We're not your personal butlers. We're not going to cater to you every time you whine. We're going to administrate the server and punish such fixed rule infractions. And we're not going to take orders from a new user. Every time you want to argue with us, you always bring up the exact same things. And I always bring the exact same answers up. I don't know what you can't comprehend about what I'm saying that makes you bring up the same things over and over again. I'm not really sure what it is you want anymore. But if you want to have a good time on the server, you could start by treating the admins and the players with a little more respect. Koala, Sun Empire owner, Vaxoc Gaming Administrator, posted July 9th, 2014.
NightCore wrote,
Last night, I was talking to iTech about becoming a builder. Then when he asked me to go onto the Sun Empire TeamSpeak and gets off the people.
Sorry about that. I had to go since I had to work in the morning. NightCore then wrote,
The people who call themselves super admins, and friends put me into game mode. Then they asked me to build them a house, in which I did. I saw nothing wrong with it. So I went ahead and built the house. Then they go ahead and demolish it with TNT and corded it.
I agree. This was taking it too far. But you were also told many times by that point that there were no builder positions available, and I would contact you if I needed one. Also, for future reference, if someone is staff, it'll clearly be marked as such on the server. They'll either have a blue moderator tag, a red admin tag, or the red-greenish head admin tag, who is Koala, or the owner tag, who is me. So these people weren't staff that were doing it, except for Dr. Death, but I'll talk about that later. NightCore then wrote,
Then they go ahead and get Dr. Death to ban me from the TeamSpeak for an hour, and the Minecraft server for an hour, when there was no reason to ban me.
Again, yes, this was definitely going too far. We've talked to him about this, so it shouldn't become an issue anymore. This seems to have been a case of peer pressure, which isn't an excuse, but he has been talked to about it. After this statement, NightCore then wrote,
I responded with, No, I will not, because I cannot trust any of you, because I do not know any of you. Therefore, I will give them to the owners.
I'm the only owner for Vaxoc Gaming, and Koala is the owner of Sun Empire, and we did not receive anything from you. Again, these people were not, quote-unquote, super admins, as they claimed to be. Staff are clearly marked with a tag both on the server and the website. You shouldn't be banned on the Minecraft server, so hopefully that's not an issue. As for the TeamSpeak ban that is currently in place, it was implemented because you complained about mostly anything and proceeded to poke me, as well as Koala, constantly. That may not seem like anything big, but I'll put it into perspective. I got home from work around 5 p.m. That's when I got on to the TS3 and Minecraft server. Almost immediately, I started to attend to you because almost immediately, I started getting poked by you with a simple message, we need to talk, now! BT dubs, try to phrase things a bit nicer if you can. By the time I had to get off, and you were still wanting to talk, it was 12:30 a.m. That's 7.5 hours in one day dealing with one person's problems. Some of the issues you poked me about. 1. You complained about people being around your base, and you proceeded to poke me to complain about it. This doesn't violate server rules. People can be near other people's bases as long as they're not griefing/raiding. Number 2. You walked into someone's base and you were killed. You proceeded to poke me to complain about it. This doesn't violate server rules. People can PvP as long as they don't try to kill people, their base, or on their property. Number 3. You advanced upon other people's castle, And that's when they did the same to you. You proceeded to poke me to complain about it. This doesn't violate server rules. If you're going to run up to someone's base, you can't expect me to shield you from their retaliation, even if they use potions to make themselves invisible when they do it. I encourage people to come to staff if there's an issue, but when you do it so constantly about things that aren't always actually issues, that it takes 7.5 hours for Koala and me to deal with, that's a problem. Running a community is already stressful enough as it is. This just makes the experience, for everyone, dismal. Because you complain so much about such small things, the server community naturally started to dislike you. There's not a whole lot I can do about that. I can't make them like you. Ultimately, the TS3 ban was issued because your poking started to bother and negatively impact the community in general. Now, as for the VGTS3 ban, it's something that can be reversed. I'd be happy for you to come back as a player, however, I cannot deal with issues constantly that are insignificant. It's hard for me to dedicate that much staffing resource to one set of small issues, and to one player in general. I understand that those players shouldn't have done what they did, and I will talk to the admin that was helping them. But if you continue elongating this issue, there's not much left I can do for you. In order for the ban to be reversed, you have to become less sensitive to things people do on the server. It's a public Minecraft server, so there will be some things that happen that you may not like. But if they're not really major, then I can't have you flooding the staff with requests. If there is a legitimate issue at hand, then I have no problem dealing with it in a mature and professional manner. As for the Sun Empire TS3 ban, you'll have to ask Koala, as he's the owner of Sun Empire. If he feels you should deserve another chance on that TS3, then he'll probably unban you, but that's something you need to talk to him about. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, I'd be happy to answer them. Smiley face. Posted July 9th, 2014. Last edited July 9th, 2014.
80, 74, 49, 79.